Hello everybody and welcome to the world tour. We are coming up on day 20 and I decided to do a special video for the world tour for people who would like to check out the world and what we've accomplished so far. This is from day 1. I believe we had a viewer subscriber join up and actually spawned this building in near spawn, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to explain kind of where spawn is and how to be able to get to the rest of where the builds are. On every 10th day I usually do a world tour for you guys, and I'm going to be making these special videos not just during the live stream, so we're not digging into our live stream play and allowing you guys to be able to play a little bit more rather than having to wait for the live or for the live showing of the world tour. So this is really close to spawn, so if you guys are new and are just joining up, this is kind of the rough area which you would be spawning into the world. If you look into this area and you find the mansion, or this is what we call the mansion, if you go in here, I mean, we do have some stuff that have been donated in case people want. It's been emptied, but we do have some stuff in here. There's some beds. We have shulker boxes. Leave the shulker boxes here, but they're for beds for people to have beds, because for whatever reason I can't download the mod to be able to do the one person sleep mod on here, so everybody has to sleep. So I gave a whole bunch of opportunities for beds. We do have a whole bunch of different colors and stuff like that once you get to the castle area, but that's at least some beds for you guys and an inner chest to put whatever in there that you want. But yeah, this is just a basic build. We have checked it out on day 10 live stream. If you guys want to, we are going to be skipping over a lot of the stuff that we did early on, like the builds right over there and stuff like that. Not really too much to note, really. There's a couple of spawned in things in the world and stuff like that, some builds. If you go straight out from the mansion, what you're going to end up doing is going straight to the castle. And it kind of worked out that way, so I'm really happy that that worked out. It makes it really easy for people to get to the castle. We are going to be working on making a rail system for people to be able to get over here a little bit easier. We were thinking about doing something like up here, but I think that going like underground would probably be a really good idea to be able to get in there, so it's not looking like this big bridge or whatever. But we do have speaking of bridges, we have a bridge down here with a couple people's builds, something that's just been started over here. But if you go through this bridge right here, we have one of our first custom cave builds that I built a while back, and all you have to do is walk up through here and it will get us up to the castle area. For the people that might not be able to build their way up or climb their way up through the mountains and stuff like that, which I mean, it's pretty easy to get up there, but I don't want people to have to like build up stuff like that. But this brings us to our first opening of the cave, where we have our villager people, or where a lot of the subscribers and viewers have been building their houses and stuff like that, which is like right below the castle area, if you can see up there, which we'll get up there here in a little bit. We do have this building right over here, which is the free for all area, which this is an area where there's a whole bunch of beds. I mean, if you guys do need to take a bed out of here, I'd rather leave a whole bunch of beds in here just to have them in here. But this is an area where if there's anything that you guys do not want, you can just discard those items in these chests and stuff like that for anybody that might need some materials or whatever it is that you don't specifically need. And then that way they can get that stuff from here. It's just a good way to unload some stuff that you really don't need or want, and it might help out somebody down the road. So going our way over here, we do have a whole bunch of different houses and stuff like that that people have been building. I've been telling them to write down who the house belongs to. Obviously, one of the rules is no stealing. This is a no griefing world. We're in here just to have fun and to build some really cool stuff, and just to make this world a really cool thing to look at and to enjoy. So there is no stealing and stuff like that. And we tried to make this as friendly as possible. There are a lot of really cool buildings that have been gathered up around this bottom area, which makes it kind of look like there's a little bit of a village being developed down below the castle area. So once we get the castle area built, I really feel like it's gonna really look awesome with all these little houses and stuff, kind of like the village people of the castle down here at the bottom. I think it's going to turn out really cool. I really like everybody's contribution to making this world pretty cool. All right, so let's go over here to one of our first builds, not our absolute first build, but we have our library. Since we're right here, I might as well go up here, go through here, and it says, welcome to the public library, be respectful, make sure not to let any of the villagers out, make sure to leave these gates closed, because we do have our villagers that are here to look up and get library books for themselves and stuff, basically like customers for the library and things like that. We don't want him to get out, but we do have every single village or every single enchantment possible, and every single villager in here has its own trade that you can get whatever enchanted book that you can possibly get. There are a few new enchantments that have been added, so we're gonna have to make some room for that, but this is the library. I kind of went a little bit fast here, but just to kind of give it a little go around to kind of look at how it goes. There's a couple things I need to clean up, but I think it turned out pretty cool. All right, and then up above the library on either one of these towers right here, we have our sugarcane farms. And the reason why I wanted to put a sugarcane farm up here, which is, it's what we got, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and it goes up 2 high up here of sugarcane, and it all gets funneled into these chests. And I do have a subscriber that likes to come in and just gather up all the stuff and make emeralds and get a whole bunch of emeralds and stuff like that. But you guys can take the sugarcane and turn it into paper and then trade that paper to the villagers down below for emeralds, so you can get the enchantment books that you guys need and stuff like that. So that's a really cool way to get emeralds. And then of course there's a whole bunch of anvils and grindstone here, so you guys can get your guys' enchantments figured out. And also, I don't think I pinpointed this over here, but there is an enchantment book area here, and I put some lapis in here. Only take what you need, leave everything else for everybody else to use. And if you have any extra blue lapis, I mean, you can definitely donate it to this box so people can use it, so that way they can get the enchantments that they need for their items before they go out and buy a whole bunch of books. And I do have usually a chest right here for free books that has either enchantment books that you guys might not want, or just books in general in here. I try to keep it stocked, but again, just take what you need, leave the rest for everybody else, and then everybody will have an opportunity to get the enchantments that they need. Now through here is one of our actual the latest build that we built on day was it 17, 18, and 19. I think it took us a while to build this one, but if we go through here, this will open up to our little dungeon area down here, which I really think it turned out really awesome. But it is a potion broom, which I do have a automatic potion maker right here, which, you know, we had some people kind of pushing the buttons and stuff like that, so I did take off the buttons where the button needs to go. But if anybody wanted to make potions or whatever, just let me know and I'll help them or walk you through it. But it is an automatic potion maker behind here, and it will make a whole bunch of different potions. These potions are up for anybody to use, and then there's a whole bunch of ingredients here that I've left in here, so we can use that. And then there's villagers, clerics, that we can trade our rotten flesh and stuff like that with them. So that way we can get some emeralds as well, and get other really cool trades with these villagers. But I really do like the way that this room ended up. I really love the addition of the candles. The fact that the candles can float in the air is really cool. I really like that that's a possibility. And yeah, I really think that this building turned out really good. But I'm really excited about that. And again, I'm trying not to go super fast through here, but I don't want the video to be absolutely, you know, extremely long or anything. To be able to get out, you really have to kind of go through this area pretty closely to be able to get out, and then it's all automatic. And then let's work our way up to the top. So let's go back out and go up our mountainside here. Alright, so there's like this stairway that goes up to the side of the castle area. I think it turned out really good. You can really see the vines and things like that on the side. I think it's a really good addition. I really had a lot of fun building that. A lot of really cool colors and flowers and stuff like that. Really wanted to make this look really nice. This is the butcher shop, and if you go through here, there is a chicken farm where raw chickens are produced in here, and then you have you know, a couple butchers that you can trade the raw chicken for, and then get other type cooked foods and stuff like that from them. Not really the best when it comes to food, but I'll get to that here in a little bit. But there is a whole chest right here full of food, free food for anybody that needs it. We try to keep that stocked up as well. And then if you go through here, we have a chest area down here with a whole bunch of feathers. Not sure how everything else got in there, but a whole bunch of feathers in there because it's all separated out through this system back here. If anybody wants me to explain how that's done, I can't remember what video it was that we built this on, but it is all on live streams. So most of the mechanics and stuff like that are on videos, but I can definitely try to pinpoint exactly where they are if you want to let me know in the comments. But one of the first couple of days we spent in this area, and we ended up leveling this mountain out. And I don't know if very many of you guys remember, like first day or two, this is actually a pretty high peak, and we completely leveled it out, and it took quite a while to actually mine this whole thing out. But we ended up making these towers and walls. We still have a couple spots that we need to finish here and there to be able to get the doorways and stuff like that. And I need to replace the grindstones because I had to get the iron farm going, and it was kind of messing with the villagers' trades and stuff like that. So I had to get rid of all the grindstones, so I have to replace those to get the gates looking like they're supposed to. But that was a lot of fun. And then I do have the castle outlined. This is kind of like the foundation outline of the castle. I'm really looking forward to be building that sooner rather than later, hopefully. Still gathering up a whole bunch of materials because this castle is going to be massive, so it's going to take a lot of materials, and I've still been gathering up the majority of them. But you know, we're getting there, and having a lot of fun getting some other things done along the way. But there is a whole bunch of towers and stuff like that. These towers are mostly just for looks, but if you go over here, this is just kind of a basic idea of what these towers look like. They just kind of go up like that, and that's just what they look like on the inside, just to kind of show that off a little bit here. And then back down here we have our pond little area, and then this right here is eventually going to run down into a pool area, and then that pool area is going to run out to the back and kind of make a waterfall area into this hole in the ground over there, which I really feel like that's going to turn out really good eventually once we get there. But everything is a work in progress. We're only on day 20, so I think we've gotten a lot done so far. But now we come to the back of the village, or back of the castle area, and we have a couple farmers over here. This one is our carrot farmer, another way to really get some good emeralds and trades. The reason why I have golden carrots. And all you do is come down to the bottom. You can gather up the carrots that you guys need. There is also honeycomb in here being produced by the bees as well. So Anyway, you could trade with the villagers as long as you try to keep the villagers from getting out of here. That's why there's 2 gates, just in case one of the villagers gets into this area. At least you keep this one shut, and then that way if you need to come out here or a villager gets in there, you have a little bit of an opportunity to get him back into where he needs to go, because it's kind of a hassle. We've already lost these guys a couple times, and it's kind of sad because it takes a while to get them. Plus these guys have some really good trades, like golden carrots, for instance. So that's a really good way to get some really good food. We also have this pumpkin and melon farm over here, automatic, and that is also put in down here in this chest right here. You can get some watermelon or pumpkins to be able to trade with the villagers, or use them as you'd like, to be able to get some really good emerald trades as well. The wheat farmer over here produces wheat in the same fashion as the carrot farmer. There's a whole bunch of extra seeds because I've been gathering up a whole bunch of seeds just in case we need to make sure that his inventory is completely full of seeds. So all we're producing is the wheat. So every time that we get some seeds, we put them, we take some out of here like this. Here, I'll show you. And come out here and find our villager. There we are. And throw him. He gathers up whatever it is that he needs, and then that way the rest he could just throw down in the bottom or get gathered up by the hoppers down below. Looks like we have a couple spots that need to be fixed in here, but that's all right. But it's also a really good way to get trades for wheat, for emeralds, and then he actually produces the glistening melons, which is a really good potion. I think you can make something with potions. I can't remember what it was exactly, but there's a potion that you can make with the glistening melons. All right, so as we move on, we have a little pathway here that goes to a couple other people's houses over here. Let's see here. We got, Jax, which we haven't seen him on here for a while. And then I don't know whose house this is because we didn't get a sign on this one. And I'm not going in the inside of these guys' house right now. This is mostly about just kind of the view of what it looks like and stuff like that from the outside. But if anybody wants me to look at their houses and stuff like that during a live stream, I'm more than welcome to do that during a live stream and stuff like that to show off their builds. And if there's anything that I have missed, make sure in the comments, that way I can make sure to get it on the next one or talk about it in the live stream to be able to kind of give you some recognition for the builds that you guys are building, because I don't necessarily know everybody's buildings that they've built. But before we go down there, we're going to go back over here to another base that somebody has built over here, which is a pretty big building comparatively, but it looks like he's got some farms going on, and then you got a doorway or a way to get up here, and then we got the AO Devon. So another really cool building right here. All right, so now let's go over to the next area here, and that is the iron farm, which we turned into a prison. One of my nephews was like, we need to build a prison, so we built a prison, and I decided to turn it into a iron farm. So if you go down here, all the iron is basically the iron golems get sent in here. I do have some lava in there just to kind of speed up the process, but it is gathered in here, and then it is put through an automatic sorting system. Click the button down, and then you'll go to iron right here, poppies, and then string, because it does produce some string. And then this is just a miscellaneous run over of stuff that I just haven't cleaned up yet, which anybody and everybody knows me. I just kind of leave stuff around for a while, and eventually I get around to cleaning it up. So I do apologize for leaving some things. And then you come back up here, and that way we can get and access the prisoners in the prison. Everybody in here, let's see here, what is going on? Why are all these blocks, weird spots? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, these guys are our prisoners, or our villagers that are producing the iron golems as well. We have a whole bunch of masons that go all the way throughout the side area, which this is where we're going to be getting all of our quartz blocks that we're going to need for our castle, because we're going to need a lot of quartz blocks for our castle. And then in the inside we have our toolsmiths for anybody who needs tools, or you can also, the reason why we're kind of out of iron is people have been trading the iron for emeralds, which is another good way to get emeralds here in the world. And then on the back side here we have our armorers if you need armor. And then on the other side right here we have our weaponsmiths, and then that way we can have access to getting diamond weapons as well, axes, swords, basically have everything to our disposal of things that we can get without having to mine a whole bunch. And then if you need to sleep over here, the best thing to do is to sleep on this bed on the very end, and it works really well without destroying the mechanics. And if we go up here, hopefully we can see some iron golems coming through here. There should be some iron golems spawning any second. There we go. And then they just get pushed through here. I do have I believe I have 40 villagers, or 42 or something like that, but for every 10 villagers up to 40, I believe, which that means that we can get up to 4 iron golems spawning at one time. So it usually speeds up the process for the amount of iron that we can get to have at least a minimum of 40. I mean, you have to have a minimum of 10, but then 10 makes 1, 20 makes 2, 30 makes 3, 40 makes 4, and I believe that's the cap for the amount of iron golems. 75% of them have to work within a day cycle, and all of them have to be linked into a bed for a bedrock iron farm to work. So that's how that works. And yeah, I really do like this build. It was a really good idea to build it, and I thought it turned out pretty well. All right, on to the next build. Go down our pathway here. I'm not so sure what somebody's building right here. Not really sure what it is, but that's kind of an interesting thing. Not sure. Maybe somebody will explain that to me one of these days. But anyway, we go down the mountain here, and this brings us to our wool farm, which has every single color of wool that you guys can need. Dark gray, light gray. I try to make it as color coded as possible. That way, if anybody needs any wool for anything, they'll have access to every single color possible in the game. And then on the outside, you can see our sheep all in their individual areas with the bubble columns, in which takes the wool up to where it needs to go. And I really do like this build. It was a lot of fun building it. Kind of like a barn slash just storage room. We do have some other buildings over here. We have, let's see if there's a sign in the front of this one. Okay, no sign. I can't remember exactly whose house. I try to keep them straight, but if you want people to know whose building they are, make sure to let me know by putting a sign on the outside. That way I know whose building belongs to who. And then you have this really cool house out here. It's definitely coming together. And then I think it has a basement as well, but like I said, I'm not going to really go through a whole bunch of the inside stuff. I think it was Twixted that built this area, which is, he said it's kind of like a sewer kind of dungeon kind of going through here, which I think is really cool. I think he was working on this the last time that we were on. And then he has this right here. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. All this can open. I don't know what he's going to do with all this, but definitely a lot of fun. All right. And let's see here. As we move back up to this area, we have our wood cutting area on the other side of here, which I do need to still kind of build like an entrance to it. Kind of just been jumping down this tree area. But we have a tree cutting area where you can cut down trees like dark oak, and you can even do spruce, or not spruce, birch in this area. And then you don't have to wait for the saplings, because underneath here is a whole bunch of hoppers, which just brings all the saplings to these chests. So that way you don't have to sit around and wait. All you have to do is replant and leave, or come back later, or wait for them to regrow. It's just a really good way to get some wood pretty quickly. And then down in this area is eventually I'm going to build this out to be our spruce and jungle tree cutting area. So I'm going to work on that eventually throughout the series, and then that way we have that as something that we can use to get some wood as well, without having to wait around for our saplings and stuff like that. Because honestly, the worst thing about cutting trees is if you actually are waiting around for saplings or apples or stuff like that, specifically for trees that don't drop a whole lot, kind of like your jungle trees, which I think they did up the amount of saplings jungle trees drop, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Seems like they drop a lot more than they used to. Which brings us to our next thing over here. We just have a really cool jungle area and biome over here. Another really cool thing to note when we're caving is like right around this area, we have an ancient city right below us in this area, which is really cool that we're able to get an ancient city so close to spawn, and we're just lucky enough to actually have it really close to where our base is. So that's going to be something that's going to be coming up soon. We're going to be exploring the ancient city. We still haven't done that. I know somebody went down there and ended up dying one time. But other than that, that's pretty much where we are for the world tour. I don't think I left anything out. If I did, please let me know in the comments. Hopefully I got to everything. But the future of this world is just to have a lot of fun. But we're going to be building a huge castle right here. We have loads of other things that we are working on, or are going to be working on, just to make this world even bigger and better. So it's just going to continue to grow, and I can't wait to see what day 30, the world tour for day 30 is going to look like. Hope to see you there. But if you guys do like this video and enjoy the builds that we have been building so far, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoy this content, would like to see more, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully maybe later today for our Minecraft live stream with subscribers day 20 coming up here just in a couple hours. Hope to see you there.